아메리카노 좋아 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 아메리카노 진해 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 어떻게 하나 시럽 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 빼고 주세요 빼고 주세요 이쁜 여자와 담배 피고 차 마실 때 메뉴판이 복잡해서 먹고를 땐 자격세 내고 돈 없을 때 밥 대신에
Okay, it is recording. Hi family, how you doing? Okay, so, oh, I just cut my thing on. Have to not do that. It's Q&A, viewer Q&A, and I know you're like, oh my god, who is this person on your screen? It's me. This is my natural hair. This is all me. It was natural in the last video, but I had it flat ironed out. And so this is what my hair looks like when I just wash it, which is what I did just a little while ago, like a couple hours ago. I washed it, and so now I'm kind of waiting for it to dry. And you can see I have a mirror behind the camera, which technically is you because I'm talking to you, right? So this is what my hair looks like. It does its own little curly thingamabobber. Yes, my natural hair is a Jerry curl. I'm quite aware of that. So anywho, this is me rocking my natural hair for however long I choose to do it until I decide to do something different. So as you all know, it's viewer Q&A week, and I think this may take longer than the week. This time I had way more questions than I did last time. So the idea that we're going to keep with, which worked out really well, is I'm going to try and make a 10-minute video every day until I get through all of the questions. And so I'm going to start now. Alright, and I'm actually going to pause in between each, question, right, so that I can put the viewers' names. It's a lot easier to do shout-outs because sometimes I misread them. So here we go. So today's 5 viewers. I'm going to do 5 viewer questions a day. Oh, and OpenEye, the ones that we can, some of you guys have requested that, you know, he chime in, which is awesome because who doesn't love Oprah, right? So what we're going to do is he actually has the questions emailed, and then he's going to make a video response to the questions from the video that I post of the questions. I hope y'all got that. It made sense in my head, so I hope you guys got that. Okay, so I'm actually going to start with the inbox questions first, and then I'm going to work my way up from the bottom of the comments to the top. So if I haven't asked your question, answered your question, give me time. That means I'm coming to it. Okay, so I've talked through half of my 10 minutes, so let's see how this goes. Alright, so the first question we have is from Hannah60,000. And she wants to know, what jobs do foreigners have in Korea, and what do I do in Korea? Okay, those are 2 very big questions. Foreigners have all sorts of jobs in Korea. You can be an English teacher, you can be a professor, you can be a stripper. There are Russian strippers here. They come on work dance visas. You do what you do. Like, let's see, there are engineers here. There are company workers. There are factory workers. There are I know a few Filipino women who clean houses. So you could do domestic sanitation. That sounds like a good word for it. So yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit. Whatever you want to do. The thing with it's not about job opportunities, it's more so about having the correct visa. When you have the right visa, then you can get any job that you want, essentially. And each visa is categorized according to the type of work you're going to be doing. So, keeping it legal, do your visa, and you can do whatever you like. What do I do in Korea? A lot. You know, I actually think I'm going to make a video about that. Yes, I'm going to make a video about what it is that I do in Korea, because I do so much, and I think people get confused about what I do because I talk about things from different aspects of what I do. So I'll make a video about that just for you guys. Next, from JNick07. I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm going to put it on the video so then you'll know that I'm talking to you. How to break it to your family that you're going overseas. Okay, so I come from a really awesome family. I'm the 3rd person to live overseas, non-military related. My cousin was a Rhodes Scholar, so he traveled all over Europe as well. And not as well because I haven't been to Europe yet, but he's traveled all over Europe and I'm all over Asia. So traveling and being exposed and seeing the world is something that we grew up with, and we were like encouraged to do, like go see and do more than what we did as your parents and as your aunties and uncles. And so that's something we were encouraged to do. So for me, when I told my parents I was going overseas, it was just like when I told them, hey, when I move out for college, I'm not moving back home. Like they totally expected that from me, because doing the biggest thing I could possibly do with my life has always kind of been the thing for me. So they weren't shocked at all when I told them that I was leaving. Of course they were sad because it's your family, right? You only get one. So they were kind of like, oh, you know, we're gonna miss you, whatever, but you know, we know that this is what you have to do. And the other side is that both my parents are ministers. My mother's a missionary, my father is a minister, and so the other side is that they got confirmation through prayer that what I was told by God, which was to go overseas and, you know, live there as a missionary, which is what I'm doing, part of what I do, and that I wouldn't be coming back to the States, it was confirmed. So they were like, well, of course we're sad to see you go, but you've only been our child on loan the whole time. We gave you back to God, and that's a whole other testimony. My mother couldn't have children, and then she was like, Lord, if you give me children, I'll give them back to you, and then I came. So yeah, that's the whole story. So my mom was like, well, I knew the whole time that God would eventually require you back. You know, you were only on loan to me. And so, again, they were supportive, both sides, was naturally and spiritually. So, I would encourage you to pray about it if you're a believer. If you're not a believer, then do your research. And that's one thing that my parents always supported. If I came to them with, you know, something I wanted to do with research, like, okay, this is what happens here, and this is what I want to happen, and this is my plan, and this is how I'm going to get there, they always received what I wanted to do a lot better than when I was just like, hey, I think I should live overseas. So that would be my advice to you, breaking it to your parents. Don't just say, I'm rolling out, and you gonna have to like it, leave it another because I'm grown. That's not the way to go. So yeah, just sit down with them and say, hey, this is something in my heart that I want to do, and I don't know if it's gonna work or not. And the one thing that you can always kind of drive home is that each contract is for a year. So if it doesn't work out, you'll be back at the end of the year. Like it's only 12 months. You're away from college for what, 4 years? So it's less than college, right? So just let your parents know that, you know, you're going to be going overseas, experiencing something different for a year, and you'll play it out, you know, by ear from there. And you definitely get vacation time, so let them know you'll be able to come home and visit, so they don't have to worry about that. And they can come see you. That's a chance for them to experience life, you know, beyond their borders as well. I know for me, I gave my parents a cruise last year, so I flew them over to California, and then we went to Mexico together on a cruise. And that's something they've never experienced, but I wouldn't have been able to do that had I not done this part, which was living in Asia. So I think if you approach it the right way, and if you're convinced, and if you're sold on it, I think your parents hopefully will support you. So good luck with that, JNick07. Anointed favor. Okay, I'm going to stop and then restart because I'm so scared this thing is going to cut off while I'm talking.